TalesFromYourServer, episode 22. Two sides to every review. So this is from the last restaurant I worked at, and I just thought I'd post it cause I've been reading loads of these posts about awful angry customers yelling about leaving terrible reviews, as if that'll make us suddenly believe they are in the right and not being a pain to deal with. I had been skimming through reviews for the restaurant cause I like to see if tables who have told me that they'll leave a review will or not, all for the ego boost of course, but why the hell not, and I found this. It was for a day I wasn't working, and I had read the actual customer review before I saw the response, and had been so shocked because of how angry it sounded, and it was completely out of place from all the other glowing reviews as we had some pretty dedicated regulars who loved us. Then I read the owner's review and it all came together. /angry customer, *** unbelievably rude staff, awful food. For vegetarians just coat everything in pastry, overpriced, will hopefully go the way of the previous old restaurant. Dumps like this don't last long in local area *****, and amp, #X200B. Reply from owner/manager, ****, hi angry customer, ****. It clear that you have twisted reality. You were asked to leave twice for being abusive towards one of our team about his country of origin and your behavior is unacceptable and shameful. This situation could almost be deemed laughable if it wasn't for the shocking content of your tirade. Posting this review is particularly bizarre because you seemed to show remorse the second time and you said you felt disgusted by your own behavior. And now you are endeavoring to ruin the livelihood of the very person you were abusive towards by attacking the business he's a valued member of. You have made a public declaration that you won't be back, and we are relieved that we won't have to endure another horrible encounter with you. Sincerely, ****, OWNER/MANAGER****. Cool. Cool. I had been serving this lovely older couple for a couple of hours, apiece, entrees, desserts, wine service, the whole shablum. We chatted for a while the husband paid, typical I'm trying to not intimidate you while you enter the tip banter. Good tip, overall perfect table. They're sitting on the enclosed patio, so we all awkwardly head together to the door to get into the main restaurant, and then the husband makes a noise behind me. I turn around, he's got open arms and I think, oh how lovely, he's going in for a hug. So I hug him back and amp, #X200B, silence. I instantly know something is horribly wrong. I look over his shoulder at his wife, who is giving me the weirdest look, and I let go and realize he was holding his arm out to hold the door open for me. If I could have shrunk into non-existence at that moment I would have. You're all just horrible. So this past weekend at my work we had a really big annual event. We have a tiny restaurant, and this event keeps us packed to bursting all day and night. It's incredibly physically and emotionally exhausting. One of the only benefits, outside of the bomb sales, is there's always 10 people waiting behind the person you just pissed off, so I get to be a little bit more blunt than usual. I don't need the table that wants to be pissy. Fuck y'all, play by my rules or leave. Not that I don't try to work /the pissy folks, I'm the manager so that's kind of my job. Every single person is hot, tired, a little drunk, be hungry, so that's going to bring out the temper in even the most docile people. However, my whole staff and I are also hot, tired, and hungry /bladders about to explode, so we can only be pushed so far. But it never fails, in all the normal hangry folks, there's always one Karen. Karen walks in /her friend, and is one of the lucky few to grab a seat at the bar top. Yay for her. She orders 2 glasses of red wine, and one of my slammed bartenders rushes off to grab the order. Now at this point, I should let you know, my place is nowhere near fine dining, it's not a trash hole or a dive, but there's no way you could possibly perceive it as even causal fine dining. Think local neighborhood bar and grill. So we have wine, hell, we have more than 2 wines. We got a couple red, and a couple white. The white wines are shoved in the bottle of the beer cooler, while the red wines are kept in a wine cooler chilled to just slightly below room temperature as any good som knows to do. Oh wait. No they're not. Because they are less than $11 at the grocery store, and as I said, we are not that kind of joint. We keep them displayed on the bar top, which happens to be directly across from Karen's seat. I should also mention that our rack is garbage on a hot day w/5 people in the restaurant, therefore it is almost non-existent on a hot day with 100 people in the building. Okay, now you get the whole vibe of my place. So bartender drops the wine and runs away to do more shit. Pretty soon, there's Karen, wandering into the service station, demanding a manager. My GM rolls up to help her. She shoves a glass into her hand and announces, "My wine is way too hot." GM glances at the glass and says, "Oh, yeah, we don't chill our red, so I have some cold white, if you'd like that instead." Karen insists it's still too hot, but turns her heel and heads back to her seat. Meanwhile, with Karen gone, my bartender finally has a second and is checking up on her current guests. She comes to Karen's friend and asks how she's doing. Karen's friend responds a little nonsense and nearly falling out of her chair. Bartender pulls her glass and goes up to me and GM to let us know she be cutting a bitch off for falling out of her chair. We say do you boo boo and think nothing else of it. Until that is, Karen comes charging us again. Excuse me, bartender refused to give my friend and I new glasses of wine. GM, oh yeah, she says your friend is intoxicated, so she can't drink anymore. Are you kidding me? She is not drunk, besides, we're Ubering, we're adults for God's sake. GM, okay, well sorry, she's my bartender and I've gotta back her up if she cuts someone off. Karen looks at me and I just kinda shrug at her. And then she screams, "You're Jewett horrible, you're all just horrible." Karen grabs her barstool slumping drunk middle-aged bitch friend and walks her tab. Of course, she must have been too fucked up herself to remember that the bar takes the card of anyone they don't know personally during events, cause yeah no, drunk fucks. We had quite a laugh at the end of the night when we realized. I did end up comping her check they just had aside in the too hot wine, and in my GM's words, I don't ever want to see that bitch's face again. I'm just hoping against hope she does the walk of shame to get her card. Doubtful, but damn it must have been amazing when she realized. Odd experience with customer. This story is pretty different from the absolute horror stories on here, but I couldn't stop thinking about this customer that seemed to come from another planet. I work at a boba tea shop. He was an older man with a beard, and the sleeves of his jacket were tattered. He walked around with a look of wonder and soft smile on his face. After curiously looking around the shop, he came up to the register with his debit card in hand and said, "I'm not sure if this card will work, but I'd like to buy something from here. What's the cheapest thing you have?" Immediately, I assumed he must have stolen the card. But honestly, if he tipped, it didn't matter to me. "You can try the snacks on the wall here." Oh. Yes, maybe I'll try those. "But what are the main things you have here?" His eyes scanning the menu. "We serve teas and drinks." "What's the / specialty drink?" "It's a smoothie, but it's one of the more expensive items." "I'll try that." After ringing him up for the drink and his card goes through fine, he asks, "And what are those?" Colorful snack sticks everyone's been grabbing." "I'll try one of those." I buffered for a moment, looking where he was gesturing to the customers grabbing straws after grabbing their drink. "Oh, straws? You can just grab one when you get your drink." He grabs a blue straw in the bin by the register, and after investigating it, turning it over in his hand for a bit, "Very interesting. Thank you." He goes towards where the drinks are picked up, but forgets his straw at the register. I figured he'll grab another by the pickup spot, so I put the straw back in the bin. When he gets his drink, it comes with a dome top that you can stick a straw through the top of. I watched as he removed the cap and seemed confused as to how he would drink it, poking at the whipped cream on top. He comes back to the register and says, "I grabbed a blue snack stick earlier, and I think I left it somewhere. I'm not sure where. Oh, I'll grab it for you." Handing him the straw back, he asks, "So, how are people eating this?" It's a straw. It's a way to drink your order. You just stick it in your drink. It's not flavored or anything. I can't eat it? No, it's not edible. So blue is not blueberry flavored? No, it's not. Oh, alright. He goes back to his drink, and I don't see the process, since a wave of customers came in, but I notice later he's using the straw in his drink, dome cap removed. After finishing his drink, he goes to the wall of snacks and picks out a box of Pocky. I'll have these, breadsticks. He looks fondly at the box of Pocky he's picked out and chuckles a bit. Alright, would you like a bag? Wow, what did you say? He says, leaning in. Would you like a bag? What's that? It's just a way to hold your stuff. Oh, no, that's alright. He pays with card again, and finishes up his drink and snack in the shop. Before leaving, he starts a conversation with me about how this place reminds him of another place in the neighborhood, but they don't have drinks or snacks, and he can't remember what it was called, but the feel was the same, and ends with, you know, I don't have a cell phone. Surprising, right? Which was probably the least surprising thing about him. I hope he comes again. TL, doctor, man comes into tea shop, doesn't recognize straws or bags, calls Pocky breadsticks. Can you remove the whipped cream? I'm a bartender and a couple days ago I get an order for an ice cream frappe and a mojito lemonade. We make it with simple syrup, lime, mint and fresh lemon juice. The ingredients are listed on the menu. I start making the lemonade and ask my barista to make the frappe. His drinks always look amazing. I send the drinks and 3 minutes later my waiter comes back with a frappe, asking me to remove the topping, whipped cream and a maraschino cherry. As he's explaining to me the customer didn't like the topping, she comes and interrupts him. Lady, I changed my mind. I'll keep the frappe, but could you make one with chocolate ice cream for my friend? No whipped cream though, she has diabetes. Me, I'm sorry, you want an ice cream frappe for your friend who has diabetes? Lady, right, but please no topping me. Well, I have to let you know the chocolate ice cream is made with sugar, lady. Oh really? Well, I guess that's alright, it can't have too much sugar, just don't add any toppings me. It's approximately 30 g of sugar per 100 g. That's a lot of sugar, and you just informed me your friend suffers from diabetes, so I'm sorry, but I can't serve her a chocolate ice cream frappe. I can make her a normal frappe with no topping, and use sweetener instead of sugar. Lady, ugh. Alright. Whatever, she seemed really mad for some reason. My guess is she didn't like whipped cream. The whole thing pissed me off badly, to be honest. I also informed her the lemonade was sweetened with simple syrup, and I offered to make her a new one, but she refused. I'm not sure if her friend actually had diabetes or she was just making it up, but for the love of God, I don't want to be responsible for someone feeling sick or worse. I know some people with diabetes actually do need some sugar, but the way this woman was acting, she made it sound like her friend really can't have any. Can I get a menu? The restaurant that I work at has no hostess because it's so small. Everyday people straight up Mission Impossible come in and sit themselves down all the $/time. Or the locals or anybody with common sense will at least let someone know that they are in the restaurant. You do not just sit yourself down unannounced and expect to get service. So today, party of 4 Becky Karen, or whatever you call those BZs with all the stereotypical haircuts that always complain, sat themselves down. We are currently short-staffed, so we are always busy working. So after 30 minutes according, so Ms. Lady B, $, we have been waiting for 30 minutes for someone to bring us menus. I'm so sorry ma'am, didn't see you come in. I begin to tell them that all the drinks are self-serve, unless they need beer or wine. They say okay, then proceed to order water with lemon, 1 light ice, all this shit. I say okay, and repeat myself, all the drinks are self-serve ma'am. Lady with resting hash face says oh okay, that's awkward, whatever. I come back to take their order. They complain about the taste of the tap water, even though we have a filter that filters the water and change it regularly. I tell them we have bottled water if you don't like the water. Lady tells me how rude making us buy bottled water because your water has a chemical taste to it. In like WTFFU # stupid B/+3 apologize again. So they have all these annoying questions and say they need more time. I leave and after 1 minute lady comes to the front and starts yelling, excuse me, can I get some fucking service over here? I'm like, excuse me. She says this is bullshit, I want to speak to your manager, we have been waiting forever. I tell her I apologize ma'am for the wait. She begins to scream. I said I want to speak to your F $NG manager now. I tell her ma'am I'm the manager and I told her you and your party needs to leave now and you are 86. She said what does that mean? I straight up tell her, pissed off about to slap her, that means you need to get the fuck out of my fucking restaurant, never come back or we'll have you arrested for trespassing. She looks at me about to say something. I pick up the phone, tell she has 1 minute to get out before I call the cops. She stays quiet. I go to her table and tell her friends the same thing, you guys need to go. Your friend cussed me out, 86, leave or the cops will remove you. You have 1 minute, they'll leave. I could have gotten fired, but I will not be treated like shit, especially I could already tell that they were going to split the check, argue about the bill with no tip. Sorry about the bad grammar and shit, drunk and just venting. My restaurant is forcing us to buy costumes or else we will get written up. I'm on mobile, so sorry for the formatting. I don't really know where else to post this, so I'm posting here. I've been in the service industry for almost 5 years now at a variety of places. I've been at my current restaurant for a year now. We have had a lot of issues with management and our wonderful GM is leaving because the other managers treat her like shit. One manager is the bar manager. She has openly admitted that she doesn't give a shit about the servers. She threatens us with write-ups all the time, makes us pay for drinks that customers send back because they didn't like, as well as overstaffs the floor, so we don't make any money. She likes to blame the servers for the decline in business and say that it's our fault, that the restaurant is a mess all the time, ignoring the fact it's a mess from the late night scene when she is the only manager on duty. Lots of time the servers come in during mornings, on weekends, to broken glass and trash everywhere. There have been several times that me or other people have to clean up vomit from the previous night because she doesn't have anyone clean it up. The latest thing she has going on is that this Saturday she wants to do an Oktoberfest special. She gave us notice last week that all servers are required to wear dirndl skirts or lederhosen. After looking at prices, many of us asked if it was mandatory because we don't have the money to buy a costume to wear for one day. The GM, who is leaving next week, said she would bring it up in their manager meeting. Today the GM sent me a text apologizing, saying that the bar manager is making it mandatory and she will write up anyone who doesn't wear a costume. Am I being ridiculous for being angry? In previous restaurants, management has given us the option to dress up for different holidays, but it was never mandatory. Nor was it we had to wear specific costumes that cost a decent amount of money. On top of that, we were given a week and a half notice to buy a costume. Ignoring the fact that most servers are working 40 to 50 hours a week because she won't hire anyone else or cut the amount of servers on a shift. Most of us either have a second job or are full-time students and don't have time to go costume shopping. Also, they made us dress up this past July for a Christmas in July special. At least that time they provided us with stuff to wear, but it looked so stupid none of our tables took us seriously and our tips suffered. I almost want to find a way to put the restaurant on blast on the internet, but figured that was me being petty. I'm just tired of us servers being treated like shit. Thanks to whoever reads this, and any advice for what I can do is appreciated. Can you take the pork out of the pork broth? I don't think you understand how broths work. I get this conversation a lot at work. I work in a Japanese restaurant that serves tonkotsu ramen as one of the items, and tonkotsu ramen is the only ramen we have, and when customers ask for no pork chashu slices in their ramen, I always have to ask if they're okay with the broth being pork based, because tonkotsu equals pork broth in Japanese, and not many people are aware of that fact and think the broth is made of something else. Fun fact. Even miso ramen will normally use a meat-based broth such as pork, chicken, or fish, and then they add miso paste to it, so it's not vegetarian, unless they use vegetable broth. A lot of people are okay with that, they just don't want the actual pork slices, but there are times when I get customers who ask the title. Guys, I quit/lost my job tonight. IDK if I'm more scared or relieved, LTL, FTP, on mobile, etc. I've worked in this slightly nicer, on the surface at least, diner/borderline restaurant with a bakery attached as well for about 2 years now. The first year was great, and I freaking loved my job. And I made friends that I love so much. After a little, while a new owner from out of town took over the diner. He was basically the same as the old owner, but he was new. I'd been there far longer at this point. And things stayed great for a while. The new GM really liked me, so I was riding high for a while. When I kind of confronted him with the reality of our situation, that we could never RLY be a thing and we shouldn't waste each other's time, risk our jobs, blah blah blah, he was not cool about it. And then things started to suck. I don't want to put too many details out there, but a lot of it involved some dirty laundry belonging to this manager, and favoritism issues arising from that. Is that vague enough? I'm sorry, but basically this place was a living breathing soap opera with so much gossip and drama that your head would spin, not to even mention the drug problem. Anyway, things have been building for a while, and tonight I just lost it. I got into a huge argument with the owner, who normally doesn't give me the time of day. We fought, he didn't listen to a word I said, and I just left. Didn't clock out, didn't finish my side work, didn't get my credit card tips, or do my tip out, though I'm sure the support staff got their $ from those tips. BC mine were definition enough to cover tip out. I couldn't take any more. This job was literally making my life miserable, and I couldn't be bothered to even try to fix things. I'm currently getting very drunk, so I can pass out and deal with this tomorrow. I'm supposed to be off anyway. And I actually already secured a new job interview for tomorrow, so there's that. I'm just freaking out. I don't want to be unemployed. No one does. I'll be okay though, right? Also, yes, lesson learned, do not get involved in any way with your boss. I had a one-top last night, and he was watching porn. Hey guys. First off, I'm mobile. So you know the deal, lol. Last night was an average slow night at a chain steakhouse. I was stuck in small section, so I had several one-tops all night. One guy was really nice from the beginning, pretty average table experience. However, that all changed when I dropped off the check. He had his phone laying flat on the table, and he was watching porn. Has this happened to y'all? If so, what did you do?